Hey y'all, it's me Marty. Welcome to another fun-filled video. Well, I don't know if it'll be fun or filled, but it'll kill 30 minutes of your time anyway that you'll never get back. Sorry about that. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. So, I am going to show you a go bag, and this is actually going to be a gift for my daughter, and put it together for her, and I'm just going to show you what I have inside of it, what it is exactly, you know, go bags, bug out bags, you know, survival bags, a little bit about them, what I know, what I've heard, and just my thoughts on it, my 2 cents, as I always say. Again, it's just my personal thoughts and opinions and stuff, but give you some ideas and just some things to think about. So, I am in Tifton, Georgia, at the Love's Truck Stop on I-75, and I'm done for the day. Was going to drive a little bit longer, but my ABS lights are on now. Now I got to get them checked. So wait for a call at the repair shop here to have them looked at. I'm really tired because last night was a long night. I unloaded my turkey in Cocoa, Florida in the middle of the night. It was this long night and everything, but it went good. And then I got carrots loaded in Sparks, Georgia, going back to Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We're close to home. And yeah, but now I'm parked for the night, so that's okay. I was tired anyway, but hopefully I can get it fixed soon. And anyway, I'm thought I'd do a video while I'm waiting here. So, what are bug out bags? You know, a lot of people have been talking about them, especially in recent years. You know, people put these bags together, you know, call it a bug out bag or a survival bag, emergency bag, kind of an end of the world bag kind of thing, you know, and it's for, you know, government shuts down or civil unrest or everything goes to put, you know, or zombie apocalypse or all those weird things. And yeah, I'm not really into all that stuff. And again, I think it's always good to be prepared for anything, and you just never know. But I think it's good to have these bags, and I don't like to call them bug out bags. I'd rather call it a go bag, because I like the idea of you're going to go somewhere temporarily, hopefully, to make things better until things get better and you can go back home. That's kind of what I like to think of it as. I think everybody should have one of these bags. I just think they're good. I think they're good for anybody. You know, whether you're a single mom with 3 kids, or you're a middle-aged Marine, or a young college student, or a retired school teacher, you know, everybody in between. You know, I think this is good for everybody to have. Just some essentials to have that if you have to go somewhere. And more realistically, yeah, some of those things I mentioned might happen. You never know. Hopefully not. But more realistically, like a natural disaster. You know, I mean, it's happening all the time. You know, a natural disaster, or even, you know, things at home. You know, snowstorm and you're snowed in, or you have to leave, your roof caves in because of the snow, or the power goes out. You know, maybe you have to go to a hotel room for the night or a weekend or whatever. Maybe you just need to leave your house because the basement flooded or something, or it has to be worked on or something, and you need to go to family or friend's house and stay there for a while. Or maybe just little things like you need to go to the basement because of a storm and you don't have anything. So that's how it kind of come up. And a couple weeks ago, we were having some storms come through Minnesota where we live. Severe thunderstorms, rain and hail, and potential tornadoes. Nothing really happened too bad, but I was talking to my daughter, and you know, they were talking about going to the basement if things got bad. And I said, yeah, just take a flashlight and some candles, you know, some water and snacks, that kind of stuff. And she's like, we don't even have most of that stuff, you know. So I said, well, I'll put together a bag for you, and it'll be a bag just ready, and if you have to go to the basement, you can take it. So that's what I did. I put this together, and this is a bag that they can grab if they have to go to the basement if it's a storm. At least there's snacks and water in here and a lot more stuff. But it's also good if they have to go to a hotel room, if they have to go to a friend's house, if they have to leave their house. Whether it's some small emergency or a major emergency, it's something. Okay, and yeah, so I'm gonna, next time I go over there to visit, I'm gonna give this to her, and I'm also gonna show her how to use a lot of it. And I think everybody should have something. This is just a start. I would say that everybody should have some kind of bag just to grab if you have to leave your home. And hopefully it's just temporarily and you'll be coming back. But just something. I think everybody should really also have a bin or a bag in their vehicle of just emergency supplies. Also at home, just be prepared, you know. Have a stockpile of water and toilet paper and canned food and packaged foods, because you never know what could happen. And it's just good to be prepared. And, you know, don't raid the stores and buy out everything, you know. Everybody has to have some. But, I mean, there's no reason why not to have a good supply of some of those things. But then also just to have a bag. Hey, you like my new do-rag? I like this one. This might be my new favorite. I like it because it's camel. I also like it because my wife got it for me when we were up on the North Shore. She got me a new do-rag. So, yeah, I like it. Anywho, okay. What's in the pack? Okay, so I'm just going to start on the end here. So you're going to see some redundancy in here like you do in my, my hiking packs and stuff. I'm really big on water and being able to start a fire. So there's a few things like that in here that are multiples or whatever. But right on the end here, just like an Nalgene bottle or generic Nalgene. It's a 32-ounce bottle. It's something to carry water, and there's 32 ounces of water in there too. Okay, start with that. And then a cup, another one of these kind of tight in here, but it does fit. These GSI cups, or actually I think this was an Ozark Trail one. Yeah, it was Ozark Trail. Stainless steel, they work great. And the neat thing is the Nalgene fits in there. So it you know, nestles in there. But yeah, you can boil water, you can purify water, you can make coffee and tea, bouillon, soup, cook food, whatever. Something to cook in. Again, maybe you have to go out in the woods for a weekend, but maybe you're just going to a hotel or a friend's house and you can still use this stuff, you know. So that's that. So that's a water carrier and a way to boil water and some water to start with. Okay, that's on that side. Then on this side, I got a couple of light sticks, an orange one and a green one. Good for light, just if you need a little bit of light somewhere. Also, it would be a good way to signal for help. You could put it on a cord and swing it. You could put it up in a tree. You could mark where you are if you're in the woods or different places. Just something good to have. And then I have, I made her a fire can, you know, my DIY fire cans. You know, you're not going to use this in a hotel, but there could be other situations, again, out in the woods or wherever, that you would use this, where you would have to make a self-contained fire, like a wood fire, twig fire, and I just made it. I can make these out of soup cans. They work so well. So, yeah, just to have that. And then also some candles, some tea lights, and a long UCO candle. I think it burns for like 8-9 hours. So candles, you know, for even just a power outage, good to have. And then a bottle of hand sanitizer, because it just fit in there. And some purification tablets. There's 3 ways you can boil water: purification tablets, water filter, or boiling water. I don't have a water filter in here, but they don't last forever. They wear out. Purification tablets, there's only so many in here, and then they're gone. But boiling water, I think, is probably the best way, because you can always do it. As long as you can build a fire or you have a stove, you can purify water that way. So, but that's another way. So, yeah, and then fire can. So, water is very important. You got to be able to find more water, purify water to be able to drink. You got to survive. You need water to survive. Okay, bandana. I think I have 2 or 3 of them in here because they're so important. Again, a bandana. You can wipe your nose. You can wipe your butt. You can wipe sweat out of your brow. You know. You can make a tourniquet, probably. You can make a sling out of it. You could filter water. You could collect wild edibles and stuff. So many uses for a bandana. Just, you could wrap it around your head. You could block the sun. You know, make a bonnet or whatever, make a do-rag. You know. So yeah, they're good to have. They don't take up much room at all. So it's good to have those. Okay, right in the front here, I have something that's very important. I have a lighter, big lighter, and I got about 10 feet of duct tape on it, which you probably should use orange so you don't lose it, but I like the camel. But so it's a lighter for starting fires, and you got to be able to start a fire. There's so many reasons why you should be able to start a fire. To signal for help, to warm up to dry out, to purify water on the fire, you know, to make coffee and make food and keep bears away, keep bugs away. It's a morale booster to be able to start a fire and sit by a fire. There's so many reasons why you have to be able to start a fire in emergency situation, and survival situations. Got to be able to start a fire. I just don't get having one match in a backpack. Have multiple ways. They don't take up much room, and you don't want to take a chance on not being able to start a fire if you need to. So there's one lighter. Okay. And I have them in different spots too, you know. I don't know who it was. I was watching a video. Somebody had a whole bunch of lighters and matches in their pack, and it was all in one bag. Well, if you lose the bag or you lose your pack, have them in different places. I have one in my pocket all the time, a ferro rod and a lighter. And then I have one in every pack, and I have multiple ones in different places. Okay, anyway. Then, right up front, which takes up pretty much the front pocket, a really good first aid kit. Nice pouch that I got from the military surplus store. Have a good first aid kit. It's so important. And that's the other thing too, you know, I'm big on kits and keeping things organized. Try to have everything in a kit in here just so it's easy to find things. But a first aid kit, I was actually going to put a cross on here or something, or red, or I don't know. Have a good first aid kit, not just a little boo-boo kit. Have a lot of stuff in there. And you can buy them, but actually you can make your own. And there's so much stuff in here, I'm not going to take it out. But, I mean, it's filled, it's packed, and there's room for more, actually. But Band-Aids and bandages and medical tape, and there's a little scissors in there, and a tweezer, and a fingernail clipper, and there's different ointments, and there's ibuprofen, and Tylenol, and Benadryl, and, you know, stomach stuff, and, you know, there's actually cotton swabs in here, and there's a chest seal in here, and there's 2 emergency blankets in here, emergency whistle in there. There's another lighter. A needles in here, all kinds of bandages, and yeah, just, you know, put together a good first aid kit. And you should have a good first aid kit in every pack, in every survival kit, everywhere. So very important, and it's very important to be able to get to it too. So yeah, just make your own, because you buy them and they're like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, and they're all Band-Aids. You need more in there than just Band-Aids. So yeah, good first aid kit. Okay, bottle of bug spray. I think that's it for the front pocket. Oh, and I have this bag in here, a toiletries bag. I don't have anything in it. I was going to tell my daughter they can put their own stuff in there, their own toothbrushes, deodorant, body wash, or shampoo, or whatever. Again, if you end up going to a hotel or somebody else's house, nice to have that stuff. So yeah, a bathroom hygiene kit, toiletry kit, whatever you want to call it, is very important. So that's empty, but I was going to tell her to fill it up with their stuff. So that's the front pocket. Okay, then this little pocket here, important things that are easy to get to. A lot of this is kind of like a hiking backpack or day pack, but there's some other things too. Right up front, we got just one of the little Coughlin's whistles. It's a whistle, compass, a magnifying glass, thermometer. You know, good to have. Then have some money here, okay? So, and there's like 25 bucks in here or something. So don't get excited, Angel. I'm going to bury it in here so you can't find it unless you need it in an emergency. Reason why this is maybe good is if you end up leaving the house. Let's say you're going to go to a hotel. You might need money to get a hotel room, or you need cash for something. Maybe registers are down, electricity's out. You don't know. Have some cash. I mean, I would have like 50 or 100 bucks in here and just hide it and forget about it. But yeah, just have some cash. I think is a good thing, because you just never know. Another lighter with duct tape on it. A ferro rod. And Danny, I'm going to show you how to use the ferro rod. It's not hard, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to teach you how to start a fire with a ferro rod. Okay, a little flashlight. And it needs a battery. I'm going to get a battery in there. Okay, and a knife. You know, there's lots of reasons and why it's important to have a knife too. And so this is a small pocket knife. Actually has an extra ferro rod on the end of it too. And it's got a couple of different things. Oh, there's a seatbelt cutter on here, and a window breaker, a whole bunch of things. Just, you know, for cutting cordage, for cutting things, for opening packages. But, if you're out in the woods, of course, you should have a knife and a saw for processing wood to build a fire, to build a shelter, that kind of stuff. So I have a pocket one in here, and there's other ones in here too coming up. But this is just a pocket one for doing small chores and stuff. And then a multi-tool. This has the pliers on it. Also has a can opener and a bottle opener. Screwdrivers and files and those things. One of those little hair tied dealies. These are really good for a lot of things. And this is a fingernail clipper. It's actually what is this? Montana. It's a fingernail clipper, and it's also a bottle opener and a fingernail file. So yeah, just good things like that. These are things that are good to you want to get to right away. Okay, now the main part. So again, this is a really small backpack. You could do a huge go bag, whatever you want to call it. You could do big ones, but this is just a small one, just to get them started. Another right on top here, another bandana, because they're just good to have. Okay, some paracord. And maybe you're not in the woods. Maybe you go to a hotel or a friend's house, or maybe who knows where you're going to go. Maybe it's in your backyard. I don't know. But there's lots of uses for this. It's not just building a shelter. You could use that for a lot of different things. Just good to have. And I got just a piece of leather in here because if you're purifying water, making coffee or whatever, or cooking, just to hold the pot. Because you got the little pot there, and you got a stove and that. And I put stuff in baggies here just to keep them dry and organized if I didn't have them in a pouch. This is a notepad with 2 pens and a marker. Okay, we got some toilet paper and paper towels here. And here's some more of those ponies and rubber bands. They're just good for tying things up. Okay, and the main part of the backpack, actually, some food. I'm not going to open this and take it out. I'll tell you what's in here, though. If you had to get by, there's about 2 weeks worth of food in here. There is ramen in here. There's packets of salmon, tuna, chicken, Spam. There's snack bars in here. There's beef jerky in here. There's candy in here. There's trail mix in here. There's a whole package of just bouillon, chicken bouillon. I mean, there's probably 10 meals right there of bouillon. Chicken bouillon and beef bouillon. There's also coffee in here. There's tea in here. There's hot chocolate. There's electrolytes. A lot of food in here, and it's little meals. I mean, it's not going to be a banquet, but it's to survive and get by for a few days or a week or two. So a lot of food right there. So if you had to, you can make that last a couple of weeks or more. Sewing kit. Just had a little sewing kit, so I threw it in here. Some more Kleenex. I don't know, it's like 50 cents at Walmart. It's a fork and a spoon and a knife, the plastic one, just to have that for eating. And then a little emergency radio. So this is a radio. I'd like to find the crank ones. This isn't a crank one, it runs on batteries, but it's a good little radio. It has AM, FM, and weather on it. And it's also a flashlight, has a little antenna, runs on batteries. So neat little radio, and I've had that for a little while. I'll get another one, but just wanted to give that one to her. So that's a good one to have in a go bag. So yeah, a little walkie-talkie. Obviously everybody's gonna have their phone, but you just never know to communicate whatever emergency's happening. And you might be able to talk to somebody else, find out what's going on in the world or whatever. A baggie of baggies, just because baggies are good to have. For bagging up things, batteries, a whole bunch of AA and AAA batteries. Okay. What else we got here? What is this? Oh, okay. This is a canister stove and a stove. Canister stove and a stove. A canister and a canister stove. So yeah, so there's another way of cooking, probably an easier way of cooking, but yeah, so that's in there in a little pouch. So yeah, between that and the pot, you could cook food, and drinks and purified water and all that. And you got the fire can, and actually, I think there might be some solid fuel in here too. Let's see what else is in here. And then a big bigger knife, and this is a Mora. This is one. They're not that expensive. They're like 12, 14 bucks, and one of the best knives you can buy. And they're just super sharp, and they're just really good for, again, cutting cordage, processing wood for a fire or shelter. It's just good to have a good knife. And with that, a folding saw. Not a fancy one, but it works. So between a saw and a knife, yeah, you could have a hatchet, machete too. I'm not crazy about them just because they can be dangerous because you're whacking. This is cutting. I think it's safer to have a saw if you can, but machetes and axes and hatchets have their place too. But if you have a decent knife and a saw, you can process wood and for a fire or shelter. Now that's about it. Oh, and a fire kit. One of the most important things, the fire kit. You know I'm big on fire kits. I'm going to do a video just on fire kits and talk about fire. I think I have done that before, but I'm going to do it again. Okay, so what do we have in here? I'm not going to take it all out, but we have another lighter in here. We have a ferro rod in here. We have a magnesium bar in here. We have some solid fuel tabs and denatured alcohol in here. So there's a few different ways you can cook. A couple more candles. I got waterproof matches in here. I have some birch spark. I have some dryer lint. I have some shredded what do you call it? Wood. Just yeah, a whole bunch of different tinder in here and ways to start a fire. A mirror in here also, and some fire starters that I had made out of wax and dryer lint and duct tape and stuff. So yeah, that's a fire kit. It's so important to have a fire kit. Everybody should have a lighter in their pocket just because you never know. But to have a fire kit in every pack is so important. I can't tell you how important it is. Have multiple ways to start a fire because you just never know what's going to work depending on the weather and everything. So have a good fire kit. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah, on the bottom here, just have some Walmart bags and some large black contractor bags, which could be made into a shelter. Oh, and then a package of wipes. And just a little tip here, you know, you can buy the bins of wipes, you know, for cleaning, you know, and stuff. They're like $5 to $10, or you can get the baby wipes, 99 cents. That's what I get. I mean, there's like 50 wipes in there, 99 cents. They work great. So yeah, so some of those, and then what else is it? Oh, there's more. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we got a large orange emergency blanket, and two smaller ones too. Boy, yeah, we could basically make a shelter with all this. And hand warmers, and feet warmers. Oh, and a fishing kit. You never know. A fishing kit. You get a stick and you got a fishing pole and you're fishing. Yeah, more hand warmers. Yeah, so, yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Yep, that's it. Again, it's not everything, but it's a start. You know, just at least have the basics. You know, I think everybody should have a bag like that. Every family should have a bag like that. Also, consider the needs of your family and other things, you know. Like I'm going to tell my daughter, you know, put your toiletries in there. Also, if there's medications for your family, I think everybody should have a little go bag. I like to think of it as a go bag better than a bug out bag. We're going somewhere to make things better and hopefully return home is kind of the thing. Just have some emergency supplies. Always ready, always be prepared, and you know, just like in your backpacks, your day packs, and you know, same thing. But this is more specific to some other things and other places you may be going. But yeah, so put it in the comments the other things that you think are important to have in there. I know there's a lot of other things in there, and if you had a bigger one, you could put a tarp in there and a tent, and you know, all kinds of other things in there. I know that some people could have weapons or whatever. We're not going to go there right now, but just things to survive and get by, and to mainly water and food, and in a way to start a fire or a stove to be able to cook and that kind of stuff, and just to take care of yourself and your family. And this is just a start. You can do way more than this, and you can do less too, but do something. Just be ready, be prepared for anything. I'm going to end this video. Thanks so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And yeah, subscribe if you like my channel and all that stuff. And yeah, see what happens as I well, gotta get my truck fixed and then sleep tonight. And we'll see tomorrow. I mean, what happens on the way home. I might get a little hike in or something. I don't know. But anyway, keep working, keep on trucking, and just make the most of every day. And I just pray you all do that too. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.